Vitamin B3. Vitamin B3 is a vitamin family that includes three forms of vitamins. The nicotinamide or niacinamide, the niacin or nicotinic acid, and niacinamide riboside. All three forms of vitamin B3 are converted within the body to nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide or NAD. NAD is required for human life, and people are unable to make it within their bodies without either vitamin B or tryptophan. Niacinamide ribose was identified as form of vitamin B in 2004. The function of vitamin B3. Niacin is required by all cells. It plays a vital role in the release of energy from the all-yelling nutrients like fats, proteins, and alcohol. Another one is it requires for all to synthesize proteins, fat, sugar needed for the transformation of DNA and RNA. And the biochemical role of niacin is to form part of coenzyme NAD and required by many key pathways of the metabolism. And coenzymes NAD and NADPH are electrons carried to cell. NAD is primarily involved in the metabolic reaction, whereas NADP function mainly in anabolic reaction. They are coenzymes for more than 200 enzymes reaction.
Deficiency. Pellagra is a disease caused by severe B3 deficiency. Mild vitamin B3 deficiency causes relatively mild symptoms including indigestion, fatigue, and canker sores. Severe persistent vitamin B3 deficiency causes a disease called pellagra. The symptoms of pellagra include scaly skin, dementia, and diarrhea. Without treatment, pellagra can be deadly. Between 1900s and 1950, nearly 90,000 Americans died from pellagra. Today, the disease still affects people who eat most corn or sorghum and little else. B3 deficiency is easy to treat. Adding vitamin B3 to the body can cure vitamin B3 deficiency. If you have a slight B3 deficiency, increasing your intake of niacin-rich foods may be enough to bump your levels up to the normal range. Good sources of niacin include fortified breads and cereals, beets, sunflower seeds, peanuts, tuna, salmon, and beef liver and kidney. Physicians use nicotinamide, a form of niacin, to treat severe vitamin B3 deficiency. Treatment is typically administered daily over a period of about a month. Regularly, intake of foods containing vitamin B3 is necessary to prevent recurrence.
And here is the main sources of by getting niacin or a vitamin B3. So the first one is liver. So liver is one of the best natural sources of niacins, providing 91% of the RDA for men and more than 100% of the RDA for women per 3 ounce or 85 grams serving. So the next one is chicken breast. Is an excellent source of lean protein and niacin, containing 71% and 81% of the RDA for men and women, respectively. In comparison, chicken thighs provides roughly half that amount. And the next is tuna. Tuna. One can of tuna provides over 100% of the RDA for niacins for both men and women, making it excellent option for pescatarians. So the next one is turkey. Turkey contains both niacins and tryptophan the latter of which your body can turn into niacin. Together, they provide roughly 50% of the RDA for niacin for men and 60% of RDA for women. Tryptophan also impacts mood as sleep and sleep. The next one is a wild caught. So, wild caught salmon. So, wild caught salmon is a good sources of niacin, providing over half of the RDA for men and women per serving. So, additional, it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for the health. So, the next one is the brown rice. So, 1 cup or 195 grams of cooked brown rice contains roughly 20% of the RDA for niacin, but some research suggests that nutrients from grains are less absorbable than from other food sources. So the next one is the whole wheat. So whole wheat products contains niacins, but like brown rice, their niacins is less available for absorption than animal or vegetable sources. Then the next is mushroom. Mushrooms are good source of niacins, containing about 15 and 18% of the RDA for men and women, respectively, per cups or 70 grams. When grown under sun lamps, they are also a very good source of a vitamin D. So the next is the green peas. So green peas are a good source of highly absorbable niacin, providing approximately 20% of RDA per cup or 145 grams. They are also rich in fiber, antioxidant, and compounds associated with a variety of health benefits. So the next is potatoes. So potatoes, white and sweet potatoes are both good sources of niacins and contain around 10% of the RDA for men and women per 100 grams. Of common potato variety, russet potato pack the niacins. And the last is the fortified and enriched food. So many foods, especially cereals and refined grain products, it contains additional niacins added during processing. These types of food supplies more niacins in the average American diet than natural sources. So, the recommended dietary allowance or RDA for these nutrients is 16 mg per day for men and 14 mg per day for women. So, enough to meet the needs of approximately 90% of adults.
Vitamin B5 or pantothenic acid is one of the 8 B vitamins that is water-soluble vitamin, and it produces energy by breaking down fats and carbohydrates. It is sometimes called the anti-stress vitamin, but there is no concrete evidence whether it helps the body withstand the stress. These B vitamins, often referred as B-complex vitamins, that is helping the body to use fats and protein. Vitamin B5 has important functions that includes converting food into glucose, synthesizing cholesterol, forming sex and stress-related hormones, and forming red blood cells. As with all B vitamins, pantothenic acid helps the body break down fats, carbohydrates, and protein so that our bodies can use them for energy and rebuilding tissues, muscles, and organs.
B. Specific deficiency. Vitamin B5 deficiency is rare but may include symptoms such as fatigue, insomnia, depression, irritability, vomiting, stomach pains, burning feet, and upper respiratory infections. High cholesterol or high triglyceride. Several small double-blind studies suggest that pantethine may help reduce triglyceride or fats in the blood in people who have high cholesterol. Some of these studies show that pantethine help lower LDL or bad cholesterol and raise HDL or good cholesterol. In some open studies, pantethine seems to lower levels of cholesterols with triglycerides in people with diabetes, but no study agree. Larger studies are needed to see whether pantethine has any real benefit. Rheumatoid arthritis. Preliminary evidence suggests that pantothenic acid might improve symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis or RA, but the evidence is weak. One study found that people with RA may have lower levels of B5 in their blood than healthy people, and the lowest level were associated with the most severe symptoms. Other studies shows that calcium pantothenate improves symptoms of RA, including morning stiffness and pain. More studies are needed to confirm these findings.
Sources of vitamin B5. The best way to make sure you're getting enough vitamin B5 is to eat healthy and balanced diet every day. Vitamin B5 is an easy vitamin to incorporate into a good diet. It's found in most vegetables, including broccoli, members of cabbage family, white and sweet potatoes, whole grain cereals, and other healthy sources of vitamin B5 include mushroom, nuts, beans, peas, lentils, and meats.
And now I will discuss to you the needed amount diet in vitamin B5. Pantothenic acid or vitamin B5 is important for our bodies to properly use carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and for healthy skin. Vitamin B5 is likely safe for most people when taken by mouth in appropriate amounts. Based on adequate intakes for vitamin B5, infants 0 to 6 months recommended is 1.6 milligrams. Infants 7 to 12 months is 1.8 milligrams, and children 1 to 3 years old is 2 milligrams, and children 4 to 8 years old is 3 milligrams. Children 9 to 13 years old is 4 milligrams. The recommended amount for men and women 14 years old older is 5 milligrams per day. Even larger amounts up to 10 grams seems to be safe for some people. For pregnant mother, during the pregnancy, a recommended amount is 16 milligrams per day and 7 milligrams per day during breastfeeding. Taking larger amounts increases the chance of having side effects such as diarrhea.